What if she's already deeply in love with you, but you're missing the most important signs, and every time she tries to tell you, you accidentally push her further away? Most men have no idea how women actually express love. They're waiting for dramatic movie-style confessions. They're listening for the words, "I love you," to be said clearly and directly. But the truth is, most women reveal their love long before they ever say those three words. They do it through subtle phrases and behaviors that most men completely misread or dismiss as casual conversation. I'm going to reveal 4 major ways women show they've already fallen in love, signals that the majority of men miss entirely. These aren't surface-level dating tips. These are deep psychological truths about how feminine love actually operates. What you're about to hear is knowledge that was never meant to reach you in this raw form. The first and most powerful sign is when she starts speaking about her future in a way that quietly includes you. Pay close attention to this. When a woman is falling in love, her mind begins to rewrite her future with you in it. She won't always say it boldly. Instead, she'll say things like, "I was thinking about next summer," or "It would be nice to have someone to travel with one day," while looking at you with soft eyes. Or she might say, "My mom would really like you," seemingly out of nowhere. Most men hear these comments as random small talk. They respond with, "Yeah, that sounds cool," and then change the subject. What they don't understand is that she just took an enormous emotional risk. She was testing the waters of a shared future, and when you dismissed it, something inside her quietly broke. From a psychological perspective, this is massive. Women are naturally more cautious about attachment than men realize. When she begins weaving you into her future plans, even subtly, it means her heart has already decided you're safe. Her nervous system has registered you as someone worth building with. This is feminine love in its earliest vulnerable stage. I've spoken to countless women who told me the exact moment they fell out of love with a man. It was rarely a big fight. It was when they dropped these small hints about a shared future and he failed to meet them there. One woman said she mentioned wanting to visit Italy someday while they were cuddling, and her boyfriend replied, "That would be expensive." She said in that moment she felt her heart close. She had offered him a piece of her dreams, and he responded with logic instead of shared vision. This is the part most men were never taught. When a woman loves you, her mind starts creating an emotional movie where you're the leading man. She imagines Christmas mornings, Sunday coffee runs, even difficult times where you're by her side. When she drops these tiny hints, she's inviting you into her movie. She's watching carefully to see if you'll step into that role or remain emotionally distant. The psychologically aware man recognizes these moments immediately. He doesn't panic or get overly intense. He meets her vision with warm presence. He might say, "Italy with you sounds perfect. I can already see us getting lost on purpose." In that response, he's telling her that he sees her, he feels her, and he's willing to dream with her. But most men miss it entirely. They stay stuck in facts, logic, and short-term thinking. They don't understand that when a woman starts casually mentioning "we" in future contexts, even in small ways, her heart has already crossed a line. She is no longer evaluating you. She is imagining keeping you. This creates an incredible amount of fear and vulnerability for her. Because if she's building a future with you in her mind and you're not meeting her there, she feels stupid, she feels exposed, she feels like she gave her heart to someone who doesn't want the same future. Many women begin pulling away at this point, not because they stopped loving you, but because they're trying to protect themselves from the pain of loving someone who doesn't see them. If you've ever had a woman suddenly become cold after things seem to be going well, there's a good chance you missed several of these future-oriented hints. She was trying to tell you she was in love. You heard it as regular conversation. The uncomfortable truth is that feminine love is rarely loud at first. It's careful, it's testing, it's hidden in seemingly innocent comments about tomorrow, next month, or next year. A woman in love will often speak about the future while watching your face like it's the most important thing in the world. And most men are too distracted, too logical, or too afraid to notice the sacred thing happening right in front of them. But once you learn to listen for this first sign, everything changes. You begin to see when a woman has moved from "I like him" to "I'm falling in love with him." You stop missing the most tender moments of her heart opening, and yet this is only the first way women reveal they're already in love. There are 3 more signals that cut even deeper into female psychology, signals that show she's not just in love with you, but that she has begun to emotionally depend on you in ways that both excite and terrify her. The next truth is darker, more vulnerable, and far more dangerous for her to reveal. The next truth is darker, more vulnerable, and far more dangerous for her to reveal. The second way a woman tells you she's already in love is when she begins showing you her fears, her insecurities, and the parts of herself she normally keeps hidden from everyone. This is one of the biggest signals in female psychology, and most men completely misinterpret it. When a woman starts telling you about her anxieties, her past wounds, her deepest insecurities, or even her jealous thoughts, she is not complaining. She is not being dramatic. She is handing you her heart in its most fragile state. Most men respond to this the wrong way. They try to fix her. They say things like, "You shouldn't feel that way," or "just don't think about it," or worse, they get uncomfortable and change the subject. What they don't realize is that in that moment, she was offering them the ultimate form of trust. For a woman to show her darkness to a man means she has already decided he is her safe place. From a psychological standpoint, this is enormous. Women are raised to be pleasant, agreeable, and emotionally managed. They learn early that showing too much fear or insecurity can make them seem weak or overwhelming. So when a woman willingly shows you her anxiety, her jealousy, her shame about her body, or her fear of abandonment, it means her love for you has overridden her need to protect herself. She is essentially saying, "I trust you enough to let you see the version of me I'm afraid might drive you away." This is love. Not the shiny, perfect version of love you see on social media. This is the real, raw, trembling kind of love. The kind that says, "I'm willing to risk being rejected by you if it means I don't have to carry this alone anymore." I've had women tell me through tears that the moment they knew they were in love with a man was when they cried in front of him about something embarrassing and he didn't flinch. He didn't try to fix it immediately. He didn't look away in discomfort. He simply held space for her darkness without trying to diminish it. That kind of response is rare. Most men panic when a woman shows her pain. They feel it as a problem they need to solve or an emotion they need to calm down. But the man who understands female psychology knows that in these moments, she doesn't need a solution. She needs to feel that her vulnerability is safe with him, that he can witness her at her most human and still look at her with desire and respect. When she says things like, "I'm scared I'm too much for you," or "sometimes I get really insecure about my body," or "I have nightmares about being left," most men hear red flags. The psychologically aware man hears love. He hears a woman who has stopped performing and has chosen to be real with him. This is where many relationships die quietly. A woman will test the waters with small pieces of her vulnerability. If the man responds with judgment, discomfort, or dismissive advice, she registers it as unsafe. She pulls back. She starts wearing the mask again. She may stay in the relationship, but the deep love she felt begins to wither. She loved him enough to show him her scars, and he treated them like inconveniences. The man who understands this truth does something different. When she reveals her darkness, he leans in. Not with pity, not with panic, with steady, calm presence. He might say, "Thank you for trusting me with that. I'm here." Those simple words can make a woman fall even more deeply in love because she finally feels seen in her entirety, not just the polished parts. This sign is especially powerful because it's risky for her. A woman in love will often share things she has never told her closest friends. She'll admit fears she's ashamed of. She'll show jealousy she wishes she didn't feel. These aren't manipulation tactics. They are the ultimate form of emotional surrender, and yet most men miss it. They think love looks like constant happiness and smooth sailing. They don't understand that real love includes being willing to hold someone's darkness without running away. The women who are already in love with you will start showing you their shadows, not because they want you to fix them, but because they want to know if you can love them there too. If you've ever had a woman open up to you and then suddenly pull away days later, there's a strong chance you accidentally rejected her vulnerability. She took a leap of faith and your response made her regret it. That regret is one of the fastest ways to kill a woman's love. The psychologically sharp man begins to see these moments as sacred. When she trusts you with her fears, he treats it as holy ground. He doesn't rush to give advice. He doesn't make it about himself. He simply becomes the safe container for whatever she needs to express. This is how deep emotional bonds are formed. And this is only the second way women reveal they're already in love. The third signal cuts even deeper into her behavior and the way she begins protecting and prioritizing you in her life. Most men never see it coming until it's too late. When a woman starts doing this next thing, she has moved from loving you to needing you in her world. When a woman starts doing this next thing, she has moved from loving you to needing you in her world. The third way she reveals she's already in love is through her behavior and the way she begins protecting your place in her life. This is where her love stops being just emotional and becomes deeply practical. She starts defending you to other people. She rearranges her priorities without being asked. She introduces you to the important people in her life, not as someone she's casually dating, but as someone who matters. These actions are far more significant than most men understand. Watch carefully when she says things like, "My friends really want to meet you," or "I told my sister about you." Most men hear this as simple social updates. They don't realize she has been talking about them positively behind their back. For a woman to bring you into her inner circle is a massive emotional commitment. She is risking judgment from the people whose opinions matter most to her. This is love in action. When a woman is falling deeply in love, she begins to see your success, your peace, and your happiness as part of her own. She'll do small things that reveal this shift. She might remember that you hate onions and make sure they're never in your food. She might check on you when she knows you have a stressful day at work. She might even defend you when her friends or family question your choices. Most men miss these moments entirely. They think love looks like grand gestures and constant affection. They don't understand that when a woman starts protecting your reputation, your feelings, and your position in her life, she has emotionally claimed you. I've heard countless women say the same heartbreaking thing. "I was already all in, but he never noticed." They had been introducing their man to family, canceling plans with friends to spend time with him, speaking about him with pride to others, and changing their schedules around his needs. And the man remained oblivious, still wondering if she really liked him. This is one of the greatest tragedies in modern relationships. A woman in love begins to build a life that includes you as a central piece. She doesn't just want you in her free time, she wants you in her real life. When she says, "What are we doing for the holidays?" or starts asking your opinion about decisions that affect her future, she is no longer treating you as temporary. You have become part of her permanent picture. The psychology behind this is profound. Women are naturally selective about who they allow into their inner world. Their social circle, their family, and their routines are carefully protected. When she begins bringing you into all three, it means her heart has made a decision. She is no longer evaluating whether you're worthy. She has decided you are, and now she's trying to build a bridge between her world and yours. But here's what makes this sign so easy to miss. It doesn't always look romantic. It often looks like ordinary life. She asks you to come to her cousin's wedding. She saves you the last piece of her favorite dessert. She tells her mother about something funny you said. These small integrations are actually declarations of love. Most men are looking for fireworks. They want her to cry and say, "I'm in love with you." But many women show love by slowly weaving you into the fabric of their daily existence. They do it quietly, carefully, and with tremendous emotional risk. Because if you reject this integration or take it for granted, it hurts her at a level she rarely admits. The man who understands female psychology sees these behaviors as sacred. When she defends him to her skeptical friend, he doesn't brush it off. He recognizes it as the profound act of loyalty that it is. When she changes her plans to support him during a difficult time, he sees it as the love language it truly represents. This stage of love is where many relationships either deepen or slowly die. If a woman offers you her world and you remain emotionally casual about it, she begins to feel foolish. She feels like she invested in someone who doesn't value what she's building. The love that was growing inside her starts to retreat for self-protection. The emotionally intelligent man does the opposite. He meets her investment with equal investment. He doesn't take her introductions to family lightly. He doesn't treat her efforts to include him as normal dating behavior. He recognizes that she is showing him, in the language of feminine love, that she has chosen him. This third sign is often the most reliable because actions reveal truth more than words ever can. When a woman is willing to risk her social reputation, change her routines, and defend you to people who matter to her, she is no longer just attracted. She is attached. She is in love. And if you miss this stage, if you keep treating her like she's still just dating you while she has already decided you're her person, you risk losing her without ever understanding why. But there is one final way women reveal they're in love that is perhaps the most telling of all. It's quieter than the others, yet more powerful. It's when her entire nervous system begins to organize itself around your presence. The fourth sign is the one that confirms everything. The fourth sign is the one that confirms everything. The final way a woman reveals she's already in love is when she enters a state of quiet, emotional surrender. This is the most subtle and powerful sign of all. Her entire nervous system begins to relax around you in a way it doesn't with anyone else. She stops testing you. She stops playing games. She becomes soft in your presence. You'll notice it in small but unmistakable ways. She might say things like, "I feel calm with you," or "You make me feel safe in a way I've never felt before," or even the simple but devastating, "I don't know what it is about you." These aren't casual compliments. These are confessions. She is telling you that her body and mind have chosen you as their place of peace. Most men miss this sign because it doesn't look like excitement. It looks like peace. She becomes quieter around you, but not in a bad way. It's the kind of quiet that comes when someone finally feels like they can stop performing. Her shoulders relax. Her voice softens. She leans into you both physically and emotionally without hesitation. This is the stage where she has stopped evaluating and has started attaching. From a psychological perspective, this is the most significant shift of all. A woman in love moves from the anxious energy of, "Is he the one?" to the deep calm of, "He is my person." When this happens, she will often begin saying things that sound simple but carry enormous weight. "I missed you today." "My day is better when I talk to you," or "You just get me." The man who understands these signals recognizes them as love in its purest form. The man who doesn't keeps waiting for her to shout her feelings from the rooftops and completely misses the fact that she's already been whispering them for weeks. When all four of these signs start appearing together, something sacred has happened. She is no longer falling. She has fallen. She is in love with you. She's talking about the future with you in it. She's showing you her darkness and her fears. She's bringing you into her world and defending your place in it. And now she's resting in your presence like you are her emotional home. Most men never see this happening. They're too busy looking for obvious signs. They want her to cry during a candlelit dinner and declare her undying love. But real feminine love rarely works that way. It reveals itself in careful hints, in quiet vulnerability, in protective actions, and in peaceful surrender. For the men watching this, I want you to take this seriously. If a good woman is showing you these four things, you are holding something precious. Do not take it lightly. Do not respond with casual energy. Meet her love with the depth it deserves. See her. Honor her. Show her that her courage in revealing her heart was worth it. And for the women watching, I want you to know this. You do not have to scream your love to be understood, but you do deserve a man who can hear the quiet ways you say it. Never shrink yourself to make a man comfortable. The right man will see the love in your careful words and careful actions, and he will meet you there. The deeper truth behind all of this is that love, real love, is often spoken in code. Women have learned through painful experience that giving their hearts too obviously can lead to devastation. So they speak in subtleties. They test the waters before diving in completely. They show instead of tell. The tragedy is that most men were never taught how to read this language. But now you know. You know what it means when she talks about next year while looking at you. You know what it means when she shows you her fears. You know what it means when she brings you into her world. And you know what it means when she becomes peaceful in your arms. This knowledge changes everything. It means you no longer have to wonder if she likes you. You can recognize love when it's being offered. You can respond to it with confidence instead of confusion. You can become the man who sees her heart even when she's trying to protect it. So I want to ask you something personal. Which of these four signs have you either noticed in someone or experienced yourself? And more importantly, did you recognize it as love at the time? Be honest in the comments. Your story might help someone else see what they've been missing. If this video opened your eyes, if it made you feel that deep mixture of regret and hope that real awakening brings, then please hit the like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we're going much deeper into understanding love, male and female psychology, and how to build relationships that actually last. And share this video with one friend who needs to hear this, whether they're in love and missing the signs, or wondering why someone pulled away. You now carry knowledge that most people never will. The question is whether you'll use it to finally see the love that's been right in front of you all along. I'll see you in the next one.